This is my 1915 Harris Visible number 4. I bought this machine back in August off of eBay, and the reason I bought it was because I had seen several of these, and in varying states of condition, yeah. And this one was pretty nice. All the decaling is in very nice shape. You've got a little bit of wear on the frame down here, but other than that, pretty nice. A couple of the ones I had seen before this, one was a Rex, one was a Harris, had been one, they were both missing one spool cover, but this one had both. But overall, the condition is very nice on this machine, and even though when I got it, it was very gummed up, after cleaning, it works very well. I'm very impressed with this machine. It beats out, in all seriousness, some of the machines of the same era. I've got a Remington Standard 10 from 1911. I've got a 13 Royal 5. And while those machines are pretty good, this one definitely wins. I mean, it's a nice machine. The action is very light. The shifting is very easy because it's a basket shift. I don't miss the fourth row. I actually prefer this 3-bank arrangement. It works very well, as long as you remember to place your pinky on the figure shift key over here. But other than that, pretty cool machine. The carriage return is pretty easy. You just grab it with your thumb and slide it over. You got your paper release up here. Might not have been. There you go. Got your paper release there. You got one carriage release here. Your paper fingers, or paper clips as I've heard them being called. Your roller release, your ratchet release there. Also, you have these on either side. You flip them up like this and then push them out of the way, and you're able to release these clamps for your platen. And then you put them like that and clip them back down, and there you go. You got your tension adjustment lever here. You just move it up or down. You have your winder on the back here for your mainspring. When I got it, unlike a lot of the ones I had seen, the drawband was still intact. But the carriage was very stiff when moving it back over here, and I couldn't get it to move, and I not forced it, but I moved it, and the drawband must have gotten caught up, and it tore in half. So we just used a shoestring, me and my dad, a shoelace as a new drawband. But we were able to, unlike a lot of machines, we were able to reuse the original hardware to attach it to the drum and onto the carriage. This actually, there's a pin on the outside of this carriage here that this slides over. Pretty interesting. And while I have it over here, this little tab here is for your line space adjustment. You have 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. Pretty cool little design. That's how this, see how that works there. This is a spring, kind of a spring steel, I guess, here, so when you, it's hard to see it, but when you move the ratchet release out of the way, this lifts up. This is also attached to this clamp over here for the platen. I had the platen redone by J.J. Short, just because as I used it, it was really a pleasant machine, so I decided just to have it redone. The feed rollers were pretty good. Still got 5 tab stops on the back. That works really well. And while I'm back here, this design, I've seen the Davis Brothers videos of the demountable typewriters, and this design looks very similar. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a demountable, so I can't really compare it to. But, and another thing, this machine is really easy to take the carriage off of. You take the clip on this side of the carriage off, and you hook it on this little post here. You remove one of these 2 screws on either side of this rail. Move the carriage one way or the other, hit the margin release, and you can take the carriage right off. I did that because the escapement didn't sound quite right, but the escapement works very well, a lot better than even a lot younger machines. I don't know if this machine is just, it just didn't have a lot of use, but yeah, it works very well. Tab button and margin release here, they work on the same kind of mechanism, but the tab moves your carriage release at the same time. This is your ribbon reversal switch here. It does not have automatic reverse. shift release key here with the lockout. When you push that lockout, it doesn't allow these to lock. This side of these shift keys over here. When it is engaged, you just press like that to release it. The cap shift on this is a little weird. I have to kind of push the shift key back to lock it in place, but it works, so I'm not complaining. But a very nice machine overall. I again, as I've said before, I like machines that surprise me. Especially, with this machine, I don't know. It was one of those machines that you just didn't know how it was going to be, and I'm glad that it is a nice machine to use. And here we'll do a quick typing test here. These paper pretty well. The feed rollers have not been touched, so other than that, it's a pretty good machine. There you go. It types very nicely. As you saw there, when you type a period on this machine, you have to either use the capital or the figure shift. Now that's something I noticed too on a lot of not on a lot of machines, but I saw Victor one time on the internet, and the comma and the period were on one key, and you have to shift for the period. Now, my theory is that it's probably done that way because if you're doing a lot of office writing, you wouldn't be always using the period key. You'd be more often maybe using the comma. Again, that's just my theory. I have no idea, but it works. I don't miss it at all. The only key that I ever get a little confused is the key here, the underline, hyphen, and key. I forget, and you have to use the figure shift for the underline and the capital shift for the and. But again, a very nice machine to type on. I use this a lot. I don't know, it's for $40 back then you got your money's worth. I'll definitely say, and maybe a bit more. You got a segment instead of individual type bar bearings. You've got segment shift, which is pretty. I mean, that's pretty, for that time period. I think only L.C. Smith and Monarch, and maybe Fox too, had that. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's, again, very nice. The alignment is very good. I can't say enough about it. Pretty cool machine. 1915, Harris Visible, number 4.